Hi there, Paul in Perth here again. We're back in a BL Mazda 3, and what I want to talk today about is handbrakes. So sometimes handbrakes go wrong, and what happens with them is they get really loose. So if you look at this handbrake, it is pulling all the way up, and it's really sloppy. It's not difficult at all to pull that all the way up. There is something wrong with this handbrake, and I want to go through the process of working that out with you. There are three things that I'm aware of that can cause a problem with the handbrake. The first one, and the most common, is that the rear brake pads have worn out. So that'll be the first thing we check. The second thing is under the console here, there's an adjuster nut, and you can adjust the where you're pulling the handbrake cable from. And the third thing is the stretch of the cable. So if it's a problem with the rear pads, we'll be changing the pads. If it's a problem with the adjustment, we're going to adjust the nut. If it's a problem with the cable being stretched, we're going to be replacing the cable, and that's a hard job. That's one we're hoping not to do. So let's cut to outside the vehicle, and we'll have a look at the rear brake pads and see what state they're in. Okay, here we are at the back of the vehicle, the back wheel. So now we're going to have a look at the rear brake pads. They're in there, and I can see them, but it's going to be difficult for you to see them with the camera. So I just want to use a set of, these are actually the front brake pads off the same car. I just want to give you an idea of what brake pads look like, so you can understand the geometry of what's going on in there. These are brake pads. So they've got a metal backing plate to them, and they've got friction material. And as they wear down, so they sit like that, and they are pushed in through hydraulic pressure. As they wear down, this friction material wears away. So this part here, that there, gets thinner and thinner and thinner. Now, have a go on the camera, but I don't know how successful you'll be. If you look in there, you might be able to see that there's actually a reasonable amount of meat left on these brake pads. So I can confidently say at this point that the rear brake pads are not worn out. They're not the reason that the handbrake is sloppy. So the next scene will be inside the car, and we'll have a look at the handbrake adjuster as the second thing we try and work out to try and solve this mystery. Okay, so we've eliminated the first possibility. It's not the rear brake pads being worn out. So the second thing I said that's also quite easy to check is the handbrake adjuster. So to check the handbrake adjuster, lift up the top of your center console, and we need to remove the cup holder. So open the cup holder, grab it, and yank upwards, and get that out. Now the cameraman's going to have to reposition themselves a bit. So if the cameraman comes in, I need you to be able to see this nut here. Now you'll notice that nut is at the absolute top of the threaded section that it's on. I'll give you the tip. Before I started this video, I deliberately loosened it right off so that I'd have something to demonstrate to you. So it is unnatural for that nut to be so high, and actually to fix the problem, we need to adjust it down. So let's just do that. So I'm gonna put the 10 mil, so there it is there. I'm putting my 10 mil in on top of it, and I'm adjusting it down. So if you look now, I've got a lot more threads. So if you see there, I've got a lot more threads popping through the top of it. And now when I feel the action, it's feeling better. I still actually want to go a little bit further. So that's getting good. That's nice. Can you see that, how that's very different to how it was before? I'd be very happy if, I might go a little bit more actually. There, okay, I'm happy with that. So if I put my cup holder back in, there we go, that's fine. And now you can see, now that's very nice, okay? So all along that was the problem. I actually set it up deliberately just to demonstrate to you. Had that not worked, if I had have put the nut right down to the bottom of the adjuster and it was still no good, I would have known that my handbrake cable was stretched, and that would be the problem there. So hopefully I've helped you. Hopefully that was something good for you. And if you've liked it, why don't you smash that like button for me? And if you want to subscribe, why don't you subscribe? There's one thing though that makes me really happy, and it's when you leave me a nice comment and you tell me what country you're from. I'm not getting any money out of this. The joy that I get is in knowing that I've helped people. So please let me know that I've helped you, because it really does make me feel good, okay? I'll see you next time. Thanks from Paul in Perth.